Good day, everybody. Today is June 15th. Let me read to you chapter 4 of this book, The Lull Before the Rise. Here is a beautiful, inspiring story from the book Illustrations Unlimited, edited by James S. Hewitt. It was June 18, 1815, the Battle of Waterloo. The French, under the command of Napoleon, were fighting the Allies, British, Dutch, and Germans, who were under the command of Wellington. The people of England depended on a system of semaphore signals to find out how the battle was going. One of these signal stations was on the tower of Winchester Cathedral. Late in the day, it flashed as a signal, Wellington defeated. Just at that moment, one of those sudden English fog clouds made it impossible to read the message. The news of defeat quickly spread throughout the city. The whole countryside was sad and gloomy when they heard the news that their country had lost the war. Suddenly, the fog lifted, and the remainder of the message could be read. The message had 4 words, not 2. The complete message was, Wellington defeated the enemy. It took only a few minutes for the good news to spread. Sorrow was turned into joy, defeat was turned into victory. So it was when Jesus was laid into the tomb on the first Good Friday afternoon. Hope had died, even in the hearts of Jesus' most loyal friends. After the frightful crucifixion, the fog of disappointment and misunderstanding crept in on the friends of Jesus. They had read only part of the divine message. Christ defeated was all that they knew. But then, on the 3rd day, Easter Sunday, the fog of disappointment and misunderstanding lifted, and the world received the complete message. Christ defeated death. Defeat was turned into victory. Death was turned to life. Imagine what the disciples felt on the day and on the night before the resurrection. Men who had given up everything to follow Christ, suddenly distraught to see their Messiah crucified and dead. Sometimes we get into their case and criticize them for their lack of faith, but I wonder, how would we have responded had we been in their sandals? There is such a tone of finality to the word death. It's like the final curtains have fallen. It's the end. Finito, as the Italians would say. I cannot type Chinese characters from my keyboard, but it's just as good as it sounds. Finished, dead. That's all, folks. Or is it? Do you know that the one who died on the first Good Friday was familiar with death, but he treated it another way? Let me tell you how. The Moody Bible Institute in Chicago stands tall and erect right in the heart of the Windy City. I've visited it, and I've at one time spent a few hours in their impressive library browsing over some of their books. This institution was named after the very popular evangelist Dwight L. Moody. As a young man, D.L. Moody was called upon suddenly to preach a sermon at a funeral. He hunted through the 4 Gospels, searching for one Christ's funeral sermons. But he searched in vain. He found that Christ broke up every funeral he ever attended. Death could not exist where he was. When the dead heard his voice, they sprang to life. Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life. And then the glorious Sunday came. The stone could not hold him. Death could not conquer him. And the only one who conquered death lived and rose again to comfort us and assure us that in him we can have life too. Don't ask me how this is done. I'm not a theologian. Heck, I'm not even religious. I'm just a businessman who believes. And this is why I have chosen to invest my entire life in Him. That particular Saturday sure was a lonely one, but it was the lull before the rise. Now death carries no more sting for those who believe. Put your work aside and just think about this for a moment. Your perspective in the boardroom will be different from your perspective in the operating room. But the rise on Sunday will give you hope. Somebody once said, the stone was rolled away from the door, not to permit Christ to come out, but to enable the disciples to go in. And that is the very essence of the Christian's faith. So, believe and have faith in Jesus Christ, no matter what. So, God bless you everyone, and thank you for listening to this reading. Like and share if you want. And again, thank you, and see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.